have the Minister for ICT, and it gives me such great pleasure now to invite to welcome all of us here, the Minister for ICT, Michael Onyango.
If people understood what open data was and the possibilities, all these chairs would be filled, because this is the next great step, and this is how we can and we shall move this country through the counties going forward. For us here, I don't want to go into other very specific things, because I don't want to narrow what it is and where it is that we can and we will go with respect to open data. But I'm very excited that as a country, we're in a very good place. And I'll tell you why I say this. Many a times, I don't want to disclose Preston's age, but if you look at him, you can all probably guess how old he is. But for me, that just simply shows that we are, in this country, we're in a good place in terms of moving forward.
Giving now the data in that ECD section, we now have 1,272 ECD teachers. I think this is a very important data that need to be captured. And then we have besides the ECD teachers, we have the directors, the sub-county directors, the ECD centers which are aligned, most of them are aligned to a primary school. There are 908. We are improving them progressively, bit by bit. Already we've done 24 new classrooms, 15 are ongoing, and others are in the procurement stage.
If you don't have the kinds of statistics that Madam Nines is sharing, it's very hard to convince someone. You're telling them, we have hatcheries and we produce this number of, eggs and chicken. But then they say, can you show us the numbers? As an investor, I want to know, are those numbers improving? Are they, decreasing? Where do I put my money in? As a county, where do you put your money in? You want to invest in ECD, schools. You want to invest in universities. You want to, look at the number of youth who drop out of class 8 before they go to Form 4. If you don't have those numbers, it takes much longer to actually plan and to be able to do better resource allocation. So I would like to encourage all of us, and I know you're having a question on is it education and ICT, is it ICT, is it a combination? I would like to tell you that statistics are not sector specific. So we have a lot of data for the counties. We can tell you each county what the population is, how many schools you have, how many primary, tertiary, secondary schools, how many hospitals you have, what the allocation in the budget is. But one of the things we are noticing is most counties do not, they will tell you need MPs and governors and say, I don't know how much, agricultural production there is in my county. I do not know how many people qualify for university in my constituency. But we have all that data in this one portal. So today is about, can we find a way of working together to be able to enrich each other from the national and to the county, from the county to the national?
A few weeks ago it was Eurobond, and it was like, we need this, we need to know what happened with this money. Tomorrow it will be your people from Kisumu County asking, we saw you allocated this to do this project here in this space. We don't see it on the graph. And it's important that we begin to link this, because the data is there, the information is there, but it's important we begin to link these sparsely separated data sets and bring them all together so that we understand what's going on. So in 2010 we passed a new constitution. It basically said every citizen has a right to access information held by state. Last week, Lynette touched on this, MPs passed the Access to Information Bill. This essentially means now people actually come with this document and say, give us this information. And what would you say, no, you have to wait. We need to build systems that just, because it now seems like you're hiding something, but you don't have anything to hide. So we need to build systems that allow people to find what they're looking for. We're all working for government, so it should be easy to access this data. So what are the principles that allow you or enable you to provide information to citizens? The first one I will start with is you need to provide information in a timely fashion. information or data has an expiry date. I was very glad to see there's, I think if you check the financial apps, etc., budget bills, etc., there are actual dates when counties have to publish their budgets, and national government has to publish their budgets. On the 29th, I think for national government, it was the 20th of April. On the 29th, the program-based budget was already available online. Even before the publicly said, hey, come in, this is ready, you can access it. It was immediately available. So we need to start to take cognizance of these, of the expiry of information.
My name is Fabian Achien from Kenya Open Data Initiative. I'm a statistician and economist by training. Open Data Initiative is a project that is implemented under ICT Authority, which is a state parasite under the Ministry of ICT. The project was launched somewhere in late 2012 by His Excellency former President Mwai Kibaki. And the main goal or objective of this initiative is to compile, consolidate all public information into one single online portal for easy access by everybody, from both public and private, from academia, from research, and even students. So to create more awareness, we've been conducting county outreaches where it may not be possible to visit each and every of the 47 counties, but to visit one, then we invite the neighboring counties. We've done 4. Then now we have this one in Embu where we've invited Nyandarua, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, and the neighboring counties. And the aim of this is just to get to know the information of the data that exists at the county government. We know that county government is just a replica of national government. All the needs that exist at the national level are available at the county government. And there is very interesting data sets that are public or even demanding that are available with them. And they are, to some extent, they are lacking capacity to do that. So when we collaborate with them, we get to even sensitize, we even get to empower them with regard to how they can collect and even disseminate this.
The authority is a department that has a lot of concern with the county government, a lot of trainings, and I believe we are going to put up our thoughts and we are going to make it a reality.
It was very difficult for me to use the community to come for this project. So, and I would use a lot of credit, calling people, sending out SMSs, doing posters to churches, schools, like that. Then I was thinking, which is a better way or cost-effective way of communication. Then I came across the codes 8988. And before that I used to see these codes 4024. You send a word, it answers you back. So I was thinking, could it be a way of communication? So what I did is that I came across the 8988. These are codes assigned by Twitter to different service providers.
And they are doing a great job for the counties. Recently, they just helped us, all of us 47 counties, to develop what we are calling ICT roadmap.
People just go to the internet and have it. Today we are having an open data forum which has been sponsored by ICT Authority, and we are very grateful for that.
On behalf of Nakuru County Government, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to Nakuru. That's a free Wi-Fi county. And I'm proud to say that we have Bilawaya. Let me say we've come to learn what open data is. Basically, from my own point of view, something that is open, it means anyone can can see, anyone can access.
The whole idea behind this project, it's been on since 2011, has been to make the government more open, more accessible, more accountable. And again, this project started when we only had the national government, and now we have the county government, and we're saying, how can we encourage the county government to also be open, accessible, accountable, and transparent to the citizens? When you are encouraging people to come and invest in your county, what do you tell them? You know, of course I want to go to Lake Nakuru and see the flamingos, I want to go to the craters, but I want to come and buy land here. Why would I do it? What is it that is going to encourage me to come here? I want to come and set up a factory or manufacturing plant. Why would I come here? Unless we have the right data that can be used by investors, unless we have the right data to encourage people to come, then it is going to be very impossible, because someone asks, why should I come to Nakuru County and not Nyamira County? Why should I not go to Nairobi? Until you can tell them land rates in this place or tax policies in this place are not as favorable, then it becomes very difficult. So data is one very important thing, because now we are moving into an information economy. And without information, really a lot of people don't quite trust what you're saying. As they say, in God we trust, all the others bring data. So we have to bring data to prove that we actually have the things that it takes for us to be able to encourage more people to come in, and to be able to encourage more people to do more.
I want to take you through some of the principles that we use to guide how you publish data and exactly what you publish. In government, the operational tendency is everything is closed. You don't disseminate anything, you sort of keep everything to yourself. I was at a workshop last week with different government agencies, and one of them actually said, okay, they have data, they have valuable data, they have really good data. One of them actually said, the data is, it's our authority, it's our power. If we share it, then, what are we here for? And I was perplexed. I was like, but, if you want people to use this data, if you want people to even know it exists, you have to disseminate it in some form. You need to sort of think of creative ways to share this data, that you're sort of maintaining your authority, but you're producing a public version, even if it's a bit generalized. I mean, there are techniques and things that people can do to make information more accessible.
The fiber optic has just arrived at our headquarters in Kabanet, and I think soon they will be rolling out to the sub-counties. That is a milestone to us. Number two is we credit ourselves. I think we have embraced ICT quite seriously, and we have support from Korea. And at the moment, we have a hub, ICT hub at Kabanet, and we've trained most of our teachers in both primary and secondary on the basics of ICT. Those trainings take place over the holidays for free. So there is an ICT hub. There is also a big ICT hub, which it's like regional. It's being constructed. Will be at the Lama Ravine constituency or sub-county at a place called Mwachon. This is a huge facility that will also help in people appreciating this ICT. I mean, we have got to be on this platform, or else we perish.
It's a requirement for every chief to have 2 public barazas every month to talk about different things: education, talk about immunization, talk about security, illicit brew, like that. And it used to be a big challenge for how I would be able to reach the children to reach the community. So that time I used to, we would send messages to people through the phone, call them, also send messages to schools, churches like that. So it was very hard. That time I discovered a method of where we're able to communicate. Twitter has two systems of communication where you can tweet through text message. You don't need to activate your mobile data to be able to communicate. So when I discovered that the platform of those people using Safaricom, the code is 8988, and those people who are using Airtel is 30404. So it's easier whenever I go to for barazas, I just tell them, chukua simu, enda kwa message, write follow, Chief Kariuki send to 8988. From there, it's just start following me. And whenever I send a message, you're able to receive the message for free. And like now, the following by yesterday, I think we were about 58,000 followers. And I only spend 1 shilling to talk all of them. So it's cheap, it's fast, it's very effective. We used to collect data using those papers. We got some phones that were not very effective from Arcags, another group. Then the people discovered that it was becoming very hard for them to collect data using the phones. So we produced forms with about 72 questions and gave them to the people. And they feel the cluster leader because the people collecting the data is your neighbor. They're getting information from their neighbor. So it is real data from the real people. And the impact has been very big.
We've been approaching this initiative from two ends, from the supply side and from the demand side. Where from supply side, these are the agencies or the institutions that share their data with us, them whom we go to collect the data. And the demand side addresses people who consume this particular information. That they have given us okay to publish, we have what is called a data release form, the signing stage, where a representative from that particular institution and one from our institution signs the data release form. That is authoritatively now give us space now to publish the data. Thereafter, now the continuous flow in the data sharing starts.
Kenya Open Data Initiative is founded on Article 35 of the Constitution that says every citizen has a right of access to information held by the state.
And it's really that connection between what activities are going on and what's happening in government and what data is available, and then sort of reusing that data for a service. So if I'll give like M3 route is one good example. They know a lot about traffic movements throughout Nairobi. But what they don't know is when the county is going to start construction on a specific route. So it's really connecting, and that data is there. It's just not packaged in a way that can be consumed by an application to advise citizens about maybe service disruptions and things like that. So it's sort of moving that data into a smarter age where it can now positively impact citizens' lives.
See the population of people in counties, but I'm usually very interested in sort of like what is the number of people per household, and this is always very interesting.
The forum we had today was to basically meet county leadership, county management, and expose them to open data, what it is, how it can improve the lives of citizens, and how they can even participate and make more information available and increase sort of public participation by packaging this data in easier to consume formats.
We have so far been to two other counties, Kisumu and Nakuru, and the model that we use is a cluster where we, for instance, go to Kisumu, but we invite the neighboring counties. We've come to Kilifi, we invited the neighboring counties. In Nakuru, we did the same.
And one thing that we are consistently finding is that the counties might not be collecting as much information, as much data as they actually should, or that they do not have the relevant information that affects a lot of their operations, information that is already available in Kenya Open Data and at national level. So what we are saying is, how can we encourage the counties themselves to actually use the data that is available and to encourage them to collect more information?
Decided to do a simple visualization from data again that is on the Kenya Open Data portal, and it visualizes the forest coverage. From the data itself, okay, we have 47 counties. If you go to Excel and you list 47 counties.
The challenge we've previously had without doing these engagements is, especially being from ICT Authority, and it sort of also happened here, is when they see ICT Authority, they assume we are coming to talk about, ICT systems. So you're sent the ICT personnel. So it's fine. I think we got enough information to sort of test the water and have an idea of what the situation will be. And what we'll do is we'll package everything we presented and share it with the representatives. And they'll have to do the heavy marketing to now their leadership and then tell us, okay, we're ready to have fellows, or we're ready to do some partner with you and work on something.
At least we have noticed that there is information that we need to relay to the public, which the county was not doing.
I realized that as a county, there's a lot to be done in terms of disseminating information and gathering it.
Open data means giving data without any level of strings attached. I can use it for whatever purpose, I can use it for whatever length of time I want. I can even download the entire, for example, on opendata.go.ke, you can download the entire catalog of data sets without attributing that you got this data from opendata.go.ke.